Hello, 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 everyone. I am Sophia Melone, the Debt Demolisher, and today I want to talk to you all about boundaries and the importance of establishing those boundaries. As we enter in the season of a new season, we know that the spring is coming, the spring is here, the weather is changing, the sun is out. The weather is breaking. And not only is the weather breaking, things within our life is also changing and adjusting as well. And as you begin to think about the things that's changing in your life, it's imperative to take a moment to think about boundaries. What's interesting was I had a wonderful conversation with my hairstylist. Shout out to MJB Holistic Hair Care. And we were talking about the very conversation of boundaries and how oftentimes we neglect ourselves when we fail to put boundaries in place or when we fail to honor the boundaries that we did put in place. And so after this conversation, it had me thinking a lot about the ways in which I might sabotage my own clauses, or I might sabotage my own statements, or I might sabotage my own intention because of not wanting to either disappoint, not wanting to let down, not wanting to say no, not wanting to disappoint someone else. And when we go through the life in times of change, it's imperative to recognize where boundaries will need to be sustained, where boundaries will need to be upheld, and where boundaries will need to be put in place. In all transparency, I can share with you all that boundaries in and of itself has not been a thing that I have been truly, truly strong with honoring on a consistent basis. And when I got home, I said, let me look through my library. You all know that I'm an avid book purchaser and an avid book reader as well, but I do know that everything that I might have a question about, I'm pretty sure that I already have a book on it. And lo and behold, I began to ask myself around finding different strategies or things that I could read to talk about boundaries. And what did I find inside of my library? Yes, a book just called Boundaries. And what I wanted to share with you all, this is a pretty thick book, and it's not going to be something that we're going to be collectively discussing here on this platform. But I did want to share the conversation and let you all know that if you have a struggle with boundaries, if you see that you're letting yourself off the hook, if you see that you're allowing those dreams or those goals or those things that you said to yourself to just fall by the wayside, you might want to take this opportunity to think about the boundaries or lack thereof that you need to now put in place in order to make sure that you're living your fullest and maximum potential in the season of life that you're in right now. So one of the things that I am challenging myself to do is to leverage the resource that I have and begin to go through this book and choose one area. Because this book is pretty thick and because we're in the middle of the financial literacy challenge, I am not going to overwhelm myself and put a lot of pressure to say I'm going to read this book in a month. That's not what I'm going to do. Instead, I'm going to focus on the area in which I know I have not been upholding boundaries, the places in which I know that I have not set up boundaries in the first place. And what I love about a book is that there's always a table of contents, and you could always look through that table of contents to identify what it is that you need to read. And so what I'm going to do and what I'm sharing with you as a challenge as well, when you begin to think about the season that you're in, begin to think about what you need to allow that season to be its best. Is boundary something that you need to establish? Is creativity something that you need to be able to create? Is your belief or your faith muscle needing to be exercised a little bit further? You get to decide what you need for this season just by merely having the exercise of thinking about what that thing is. So I'm grateful for this day because it allowed me to ask myself that critical question around what do I need today? And we already talked about this during the Financial Literacy Month Challenge. One of the things in which we do to kind of set our financial tone is thinking about what we need. And even in this case, me asking myself the question, it wasn't financial related. It was knowledge related. So what I need is a tool. What I need is a resource that can help me craft, and not only just craft, but to help me honor the boundary that I need to put in place. Because oftentimes we can talk about it, but we don't oftentimes be about it. And in order to be about it, you got to honor that be, which is the boundary that you put in place for yourself. So the message that I have for you all this week as you journey along me, maybe even for the rest of this month, think about what you need and be resourceful. Check within your palms, because what you need is already in your realm of possession. What you need is already in your realm of possession. You just have to do what? Reach for that thing. So go reach. Remember, your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that is what? Get to work. All right, guys, until the next lesson, be blessed.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia